Good morning. My name is Alex Eve, and I'm the reviews editor at Development. And I'm joined by Benedict Sanson from the University of Cambridge, who was due to be giving a plenary speaker lecture at the BSDB meeting happening this week. But unfortunately, the meeting's been cancelled, so now we're having a quick Q&A with Benedict via Skype. Thank you for joining us. Last year, you were awarded the Cheryl Tickle Medal, and this year you were invited to give a plenary talk. Is the BSDB a regular instalment in your conference calendar?
Yes, I mean it's certainly a meeting I love to go. I would love to go to every year. I mean it's not always possible because sometimes it's in the school holiday or sometimes my husband is invited so I can't go.
Yeah.
But whenever I can, I go because I really love the meeting. I think it's I mean, the science is brilliant, but it's also very social. I mean, it's a very good place for me to see old friends and to catch up with people and have a great party usually.
Yes, of course. The infamous disco.
Yeah.
Do you think it's important to support society meetings in that way?
Yeah, I think those meetings are really important. It's very sad it's been cancelled, but that's the right thing to do. So yeah, I'm going to miss not being there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And had it not been cancelled, what were you planning to talk about?
The idea came. So I was hesitating. So of course it's a medal talk. So you just you wonder if you should talk a little bit about your career or your science. Then I thought actually I'm probably more comfortable to talk about my science, and but I still wanted to give a little bit of an overview. So I've decided to talk about a kind of cell sorting, which is cell sorting and morphogenesis was going to be my title in Drosophila embryos. And I guess this is because it's how I started my lab. I started asking questions about cell sorting during compartmental boundary formation. And in a way, I'm just finishing writing a review at the moment with a PhD student in the lab, Tom Sharrock. And I guess that made me, review what we try to do, and so I wanted to share that in a way, a little bit this a summary of this question, which we've been working on, I guess, on and off for a very long time. I'm not going to say how many years. So that was going to be the bulk of my talk, and I think I was going to do also to give a little bit of an idea of the approaches we are taking, because at the moment the team is quite interdisciplinary. We've got developmental cell biologists in the lab, that's the majority, but we also have a computational biologist and a mathematician that's joined us a bit more than a year ago now, maybe 2 years ago actually. And we collaborate with mathematicians for modeling. So I think I'm very excited by the fact that the team is interdisciplinary, and we have the team is wonderful. So I just wanted to highlight that a little bit in the talk as well.
Great. So you should keep an eye out for your review forthcoming.
Yes.
To get an idea of what you're talking about. Great.
Yes.
What other stories are you working on in the lab?
So actually, the thing we are there's something I'm very excited at the moment, because we've just published the paper about this study just before Christmas in PLOS Biology, and it's about a protein called Cyclic. So
Okay.
Cyclic was known in vertebrate to be important for axon guidance for example, in the visual system. It's been beautiful work done in vertebrates in the visual system, and completely by chance we did a screen to look at patterns of protein localization using protein traps, and we found that Cyclic, the Drosophila cyclic, there is one homologue, is localized at cell corners in the Drosophila embryo. So that was 5 years ago. That was a paper in development, and after that we followed that up, and it was a quite tough work, but we demonstrated now that the Cyclic is required for morphogenesis, and it's in a particular bit of tissue is important for polarized cell intercalation. So now we want to carry on working on psychic and try to understand more the mechanism of how psychic work at corners, and it's important for tissue mechanics and junctional remodeling.
Very interesting. So what type of protein is psychic?
So psychic is adhesion protein, and what's special about it is that so it's a single pass transmembrane protein. And what's special about it is that, if, for example, if you compare it to cadherin, the extracellular domain is, is probably several times longer. So if cadherin is about, 20 nanometer long, and I'm probably getting it wrong because it's from it's from memory. Psychic might be 70 nanometer long. So it's a far, it has a different length in the intercellular space, which might be relevant to what it does. But yeah, at the moment it's a completely new function, because what we know about it is really confined to the nervous system. So we have a lot to discover about the function of this protein in epiphilia.
Cool, very interesting. Good luck.
Well, thank you.
So obviously the BSDB GenSoc joint meeting's been cancelled as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. Has the pandemic affected your research in any other ways?
Yeah, no, of course. I think like everyone in the country, we are preparing for all the different eventualities. So I guess at the moment in the lab, we are a little bit, we are in this code amber mode, where we are basically preparing for a possible code red, where we stop all activities. So I spent the whole afternoon yesterday with my lab manager Jenny to do a risk assessment to see how we conduct our work in the next few days, and then if we have to shut down the lab, what we do and what kind of skeleton crew we maintain. So at the moment, very practically, I've rebooked all of my meetings with bigger rooms to be able to stand at away from each other.
Right.
We're trying to work from home as much as we can. So things like that. So yes, I think it's and all my agenda has been completely changed, because I'm not going to this conference. I was going to go to evaluate an institute in France in a few weeks. We are not doing it, so we're going to try to do it online. I was going to do a PhD viva in a few weeks. We're also going to go do it by video link with the external examiner.
Okay. Is that something you've done before?
No, I've never done that before, so it's going to be interesting. So I think my digital competence is going to increase in the next few weeks. But the great thing is I've got plenty of younger people in the lab that can, give me tips and help me to go through this learning phase. Yeah.
Great. And so what impact do you think it will have down the line?
Well, it's difficult to say. I think clearly things are going to slow down. I think we are very fortunate as scientists, because we just need a plug-in and a computer to do work. So if we don't do experimental work, there's plenty of other things we can do. Like reading, which I'm just kind of fantasizing about spending time reading at the moment. So I think we are very fortunate, but of course others are not so fortunate. So I think at the moment, I think like everyone, part of my mind is worrying about other people. So yeah.
But I guess one of the benefits of having an interdisciplinary lab is that you can communicate these different dry lab skills between the lab members as well.
Yeah, no, of course. So certainly, people that are doing mathematical modeling in the lab, they can carry on, and then we can write papers, and we can. So I think we're just going to change the type of activities we do. But yeah, there's plenty of things we can do. And then yesterday we were talking with Jenny about reorganizing our fly stock collection. You know, things that we don't have time to do usually. we can think of doing. So yeah.
Great. And what type of advice are you giving to your lab members at the moment?
Well, to my lab members, I don't know. I mean, we've got this risk assessment, but I think kind of my advice in a way to myself and to the all of us, the communities, to we say stay calm, but I would say stay kind because it's important to be kind to oneself because we're not going to do things as quickly as we used to do them, and so we all need to be patient with each other, and some of us are sometimes we all of us at some point we're going to feel anxious, and so I think it's important to be kind, to be patient, and take care about our mental health. I think that's going to be very important in the next few weeks.
I agree.
So mental health is more important than productivity. I think that's what we need to remember.
Great. Well, best of luck. Hopefully we'll get to see each other at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me, and hopefully the BSDB will go ahead as planned next year.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.